I like to simply state that I do not understand the nature and cause of the action in regard of the elements of my personal jurisdiction.
All right. Are you entering a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I cannot enter a plea at the moment because I'm not sure what I'm going to be tried under. What jurisdiction am I going to be tried under?
Here we go again, folks. Another day, another sovereign citizen trying to convince a courtroom that traffic laws don't apply to him. This guy strolls in with the classic line, "I don't understand the nature and cause of action in regard to the elements of my personal jurisdiction." Now, translated into plain English, what he's really saying is, I Googled some magic words last night and now I think I found a cheat code to avoid responsibility.
In a moment, I'm going to ask how you wish to proceed in regards to a plea. Right now, do you have a plan in regards to an attorney? Are you hiring an attorney, asking the court to appoint, representing yourself?
Represent myself, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Curvin, you looks like you're 33 years old. So absent some other compelling reason, you'd be able to represent yourself. If you wish to, I'm going to ask what your plea is. If you wish to have a trial, if you wish to, I don't know if you qualify for a diversion, if you wish to try to get the case resolved either through counsel or yourself with the county attorney's office, any of those things, then your plea should be not guilty. If you choose to plead guilty, then we would proceed to sentencing. I would hear from both parties in a pronounced sentence. If you plead no contest, that is then if the state were to present what we refer to as a proffer, a person who's pleading no contest are not challenging the charge, but they're not pleading guilty per se. If there's a proffer that supports the facts that would result in a guilty verdict, then that person would be found guilty and we'd proceed to sentencing in the same manner as I described before. With those things in mind, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Are we on the record?
Yes.
Well, on the record before I make a plea, I'd like to simply state that I do not understand the nature and cause of the action in regard of the elements of my personal jurisdiction, the venue, and the nature cause of action until the prosecution has properly alleged them for me, and therefore I'm not able to enter a plea until then. I'd like to know if it's going to be if I'm going to be tried under common law, or is it going to be under maritime?
Judge, of course, isn't buying it for a second. He asks the most basic question: guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And what does our sovereign citizen friend do? He stalls. He dances around it like he's on stage performing for the court, pretending he can't possibly enter a plea until he knows under what jurisdiction he'll be tried. Spoiler alert, it's traffic court, buddy. You don't need Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out. And this is the part I love. These people act like judges have never heard this nonsense before. They pull out words like common law and special appearance, like they're dropping some secret password that's going to unlock the back door of the justice system. But in reality, judges hear this.
Can you speak up a little bit? It's difficult to hear you.
I got my headphones on. Did you hear what I said, or just what part did you need to
I heard part of what you said, so.
Okay. I was saying, for the record, I did not simply understand nature and cause of action brought against me with regards of the elements of our personal jurisdiction, and also the nature cause of action until the jurisdiction, the prosecution has let me know what they're going to try me underneath, so I can let you know what I'm going to make my plea. I'm not really sure if it's under common law or is it maritime law. So I can know how to defend myself, and then I can enter my plea.
All right. Have you filed a motion for discovery in this case?
I filed in my I put a special appearance and affidavit in about a week ago.
Well, there's something that's listed as correspondence in the court file. I'm looking at it now. It's not an official pleading. Neither does it state that you've requested information from the state that we refer to as discovery.
You didn't receive. I emailed. I actually faxed I faxed the special appearance. Did you receive it?
There's a document that looks like it is served or before a notary in Oklahoma
Mm-hmm.
that reflects what appears to be your signature and says respondent beneficiary of the named defendant
That
in constitutional rights / benefits.
it
Is
should be
that the
like a
document you're referring to?
yeah. I think is it just only one they went through? Because it's like 4 pages, 4 or 5, a few pages that went through, not just one.
There's a one-page document.
There's only one. It's supposed to be more. I faxed to more over there. It was supposed to be like 4 pages.
It's one page.
Yeah,
Where it begins is at the top. It says the Supreme Court said in U.S. versus Mirsky.
yeah. I have a copy right here with me. I think you're just referring to the last page, and I sent like 4 pages of them. I think I got it notarized at the end of it, and I think the notary already sent the last page to you, but it was supposed to be 4 more pages to go with that. And that was the special appearance.
All right. Are you entering a plea of guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I cannot answer a plea at the moment because I'm not sure what I'm going to be tried under. What jurisdiction am I going to be tried under? I do not understand the nature of the cause of action brought up yesterday.
Well, I've explained what you're charged with.
Yes.
I'm going to put you down as a plea of not guilty and set this matter for trial. If you wish to,
Because my special parents didn't make it. I need to resend it as well.
Every single week. They don't blink. They just keep the train moving forward. The judge even gives him a whole breakdown, explains the difference between guilty, not guilty, and no contest. He even lays out what happens in each case step by step. Meanwhile, our sovereign citizen is still mumbling about not understanding the cause of action and insisting he needs to know the exact flavor of law he's up against before he can say a single word. At this point, the judge is basically babysitting. He's trying to keep the hearing on track, while the defendant is fumbling with phrases he barely understands. And I'll be honest, it's almost polite compared to some of the wild outbursts we've seen from other sovereign citizens. But make no mistake,
Can I reset it so I can have a chance to resend my special appearance because it didn't make it into. I guess you only had the last copy of it. There's more pages that you didn't receive. I need to enter that in beforehand. How can I reset it so I can do that? I have time to do that. I can do it today, and we can reset it for this same time next week if that's okay with
I'm going to go ahead and set this for trial. You can, if you have pretrial motions that you'd like to address, they need to be properly filed.
you. Okay.
Sometimes if people are representing themselves, they're still held to the same standard as an attorney would be.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes people don't have the experience to do that correctly. So there's an advantage to having an attorney. But I'm going to set aside 2 hours for bench trial.
I'd like to be tried by jury if that's okay. If I'm going to be separate trial, if it has to be separate trial,
Have you made a written request for trial by jury?
I have not. This is my first appearance today.
If you're seeking to have a jury trial, then you're going to need to file a written motion in that regard.
Okay.
Again, pursuant to Kansas law, there are restrictions in that regard. When we set a jury trial, I generally have a pretrial date that we have. You will be required to be here at Elk County to conduct that hearing. If you have pretrial motions that you're wishing to have heard, we typically would do that in advance at a pretrial. I'm going to set a pretrial date at this time. It'll give you an opportunity to place your written motion for request for jury trial.
this guy's headed straight for a trial he's already lost. Because here's the thing. Every single sovereign citizen's script ends the same way. They talk themselves in circles, demand proof of jurisdiction, file special affidavits, and none of it ever works. Not one case has ended with a judge throwing up his hands and saying, "Well, you got me, case dismissed." But our guy here, he's convinced he's on to something. He's already trying to hand-wave away the court's authority by talking about some 4-page notarized document he filed, only for the judge to point out that the court only received 1 page. And let's be honest, even if all 4 pages came through, it wouldn't make any difference. Now, before we dive deeper into this train wreck, let me pause here, because what's coming next is even better. Our sovereign citizen decides to push back harder, trying to reset his special appearance, asking for more time, and even floating the idea of a jury trial. And let me tell you right now, that's where things get really interesting. So after all that rambling about jurisdiction, our friend suddenly shifts gears. He says the court didn't get his full special appearance. According to him, it was supposed to be 4 or 5 pages, notarized and sealed with magic ink. But the court only got the last page. He wants to resend it, as if mailing in a longer version of nonsense is going to make any difference. The judge, cool as ever, basically tells him, "Look, if you've got motions, file them properly. You don't get a free pass just because you're representing yourself. Even without an attorney, you're still expected to follow the rules." And here's where reality slaps this guy right in the face. Because sovereign citizens love to talk. Big about their rights and secret loopholes, but when it comes down to actual court procedure, they fold. And then comes the kicker. He demands a jury trial. Now, don't get me wrong, you can absolutely request a jury trial, but you've got to do it correctly, in writing. Our guy, he hasn't done that. This is literally his first appearance, and he's already asking for things he didn't follow. Procedure 4. The judge gives him another shot, though. He says, "Fine, you can request it in writing. We'll set a pre-trial date." He even explains how motions work, how the process goes, and what's required. Honestly, the judge is giving this man way more patience than most. But here's the reality check. This guy doesn't stand a chance in front of a jury. Imagine walking into a courtroom full of regular people and telling them you don't recognize traffic laws because you're traveling, not driving. Jurors aren't going to be impressed. They're going to roll their eyes. Because everybody else has to have a license. Everybody else has to play by the rules. Why should this guy get a free pass? At the end of the day, sovereign citizen defenses are like monopoly excuses. It's like refusing to pay rent because you don't consent to the rules. Completely meaningless when the game is already in motion. Judges know it, juries know it, and eventually even the defendant knows it. Once the fines and probation roll in. So what happens next? The judge locks in a not guilty plea for him, sets the trial, and leaves him to figure it out. And just like that, our sovereign citizen walks out thinking he's outsmarted the system, when really, he's only wasted everyone's time and guaranteed himself a guilty verdict. Because here's the truth. No amount of legal mumbo-jumbo, no stack of special affidavits, and no imaginary loophole has ever beaten a traffic violation. And deep down, these sovereign citizens know it. But they keep showing up. And lucky for us, it makes for some of the most entertaining courtroom drama out there. So let me ask you, what do you think? Is this guy delusional or just stubborn? Do you think he has even the slightest chance with a jury, or is this already over before it started? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe if you love watching these courtroom showdowns as much as I do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.